Assalamualaikum everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to continue about word formation process. So in my previous video I have talked about some of the word formation processes in which I told you how different processes are involved in making new words, and those new words may be entirely new to the language, or sometimes they may emerge from already present words. So we have discussed about affixation, compounding and blending. Now we will be discussing about back formation. So back formation is the process due to which you form new words by removing the part of the word that could be affixed in that particular word. For example, if I say peddler, if I remove er from it, what would happen that it would become a new word that would be peddler, pedal, sorry. So from peddler I have removed r, and what happened that there will be a new word that would be called pedal. Same goes for another word, enthusiasm. If I remove asm from this one, what would happen that I will experience the new words. And there is another example of orientation. If I remove this I1 that that is supposed to be a fix, so the new word would be orientate. Then comes clipping. Clipping is actually that process in which a word is made shortened by removing some of the parts from it. So there would be more than one syllable, and you will reduce it into the shorter form. For example, gas is emerged from gasoline, ad from advertisement, lab from laboratory, phone from telephone, exam from examination. Now there are some types of clipping. There are fore clipping, back clipping and mid clipping. So fore clipping is that type of clipping in which you remove the initial part and the final part retains. For example, in the word internet, if I remove inter and the final part retains, so that would be a word net. Then comes backlipping. In backlipping, what happens that you remove the final part and the initial part retains in the word. So if I remove graph from photograph, what would happen that a new word will be called photo, and it is commonly used these days. Then comes mid clipping. Mid clipping is actually rare, but it happens in English. So what happens that you remove initial and the final parts from the word, and only the middle part of that word retains. For example, in influenza, if I remove in and anza, what would happen that a new word would be there that would be called flu, and it is commonly used in today's English. Then comes derivation. Derivation is actually that process, as I have told you, that you would add or attach derivational affixes. What are derivational affixes? These are the affixes, these are the morphemes that could not stand alone, or stand alone and then give meaning, but when they are attached to the word, they give meaning, as well as they would change the category of the word. For example, if I say there's a word preserve and I have added a derivation affix that would be called Asian, so what would happen that a new word would be formed that would be preservation. So preserve for initially a verb, and when I have added the derivational affix, it would become a noun. Then comes a pair. So what would happen that if I attach the prefix dis into that, so it would automatically uh, just it would form a new word. So then comes bore. What would happen that if I add ing, so the word would be boring, and it would become an adjective. Then comes ugly. If I add ness to it, what would happen that it would change its category, and a new word would be formed. So ugly to ugliness. So that's all from today's lecture. I will continue the further word formation process in my next video. Till then, stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.